Hello, my friends. I am here to talk about something that it's a very delicate topic, and please do not walk away from this feeling personally attacked. Do not feel like you're doing anything wrong. I don't want you to walk away from this with a negative feeling. This is supposed to be hopefully sending you away feeling positive and feeling reflective and just kind of understanding a little bit more. I know you're like, what are you talking about? So I want you to sit back. I just want you to think and take this all in and just reflect on it. You don't have to go put everything into action. You never do. It's your choice, which we're going to get to in a second. But what I'm going to talk to you today, sorry, I just worked out, so I'm a little out of breath, is are you busy? Do you hear everyone around you talking about how busy they are, how busy, 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 oh, I've got to do this, I'm so busy. That word gets thrown around a lot. And then when people get busy, they start to say things like, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to XYZ. And when people say I don't have time, it is one of my biggest pet peeves. And I've been posting about this for over a decade. And the reason I don't like it is because we need to flip the way we're thinking about things. When we say I don't have time, it takes responsibility away from us. It takes control away from us. So even say I have a client comes to me and they say, oh, I didn't have time to work out last week. I'll say, oh, well, let's take a second. What was going on last week? Oh, well, our basement flooded, so I had to take care of that. And then my daughter got sick. We had to go to the hospital and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, all right, yeah, like, what it was your priorities, they shifted. Usually your priority is working out. It shifted last week. It shifted to getting that water out of your house and getting that fixed, and your daughter became your other priority. And that's great. That's what you should have done, but your priorities shifted. So it's not that you didn't have time, it's that your priorities became those versus the working out. So my priority was to get my house fixed up and to get my daughter healthy. My priority was not working out last week. Not that you didn't have time, that it wasn't your priority. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing either. But it's just showing like we make choices. Even the things that don't feel like choices are choices. So here I'm going to tell you, if you're feeling so overwhelmed and busy, you're choosing to be busy. I'm going to get into it. I know. All right, so some of you too are like, I have to work. What are you talking about? I'm choosing to be busy. I'm busy with work. And I'm like, yes, I get it. And some people do have to work because we have to meet our basic needs, food, shelter, clothing. And we still have a choice within all of that. We choose to stay in the job we're in. Sometimes we choose to work longer hours than maybe we actually have to. We choose a lot of things. And even if you're not choosing to work, if you're working just to have extra money, if it's something that you want, like, because you just don't want to be a stay-at-home parent or whatever it is, even if it's a choice, that doesn't make it any less important. Your job is just as important, and you have an expectation at your job that you're expected to meet, and you still have choices within that. So the job thing gets a little bit sticky, but let's take a little step away from that and just go back into like the reason. When you're busy, stop and take a look at the tasks that you're busy with and then think, well, what are my priorities right now? Let's think of like 3 priorities and then look at that task list again. Are those tasks helping you accomplish and meet the needs of those priorities? If no, yes, no, and you're finding this priority is totally lacking, you need to go through that task list again and say, what do I need to take off my plate? Whether you delegate it to someone else, whether you push it aside for a while, whether you cancel something altogether, you need to find out where in those tasks you can get rid of something so that you can put in different tasks that will help you meet that priority. Like, quick little example, I signed up for an Italian class a while ago and I was going to go in person. I was really looking forward to it, and it was stressing me out because I'm thinking, it's late at night. Now I can't do clients at those times, which I used to do, and that's some work I can't get done. And oh shoot, and I was starting to get so overwhelmed just at the thought of having to go to this and spending 2 hours of my day doing that task of my Italian class that I quit. I quit before I even went. And you know what happened? I felt so much better afterwards. I was like, that was a choice, and that was a good choice, because I could see these priorities that I really have right now were going to suffer if I did that. So that Italian, it's not my priority right now. And that's okay. It's okay to switch your priorities and to have them move around. They're fluid. They're going to be fluid week to week even. So one, think of what your priorities are. And then two, just remind yourself that a lot of these things that we're doing and that are keeping us busy are choices. We choose to do certain activities. We choose to sign our kids up for activities. I feel like parents get so busy with kids and kids stuff, and we have to remember that that's a choice. So like, for example, it's also a privilege. Privilege is not a negative word. Don't do that little shudder. I saw it. Privilege is something you should acknowledge and appreciate. I'm privileged. My kids are privileged, and I feel good about that I can provide that privilege for them. They're privileged because they get to do 1 to 2 sports or activities per season. They're privileged because they do get to go to summer camp. They're privileged because there's a lot of things I can provide for them. And I know that those are choices as well. So when I'm racing from, I coach my daughter's soccer team, and then we race straight from there to bring my son from his soccer practice to baseball, and I have to pack a dinner so that we can eat in the car. And I could be like, oh my God, I'm so busy. I'm freaking out. Instead, I'm acknowledging, 1, it's a privilege that they get to do these activities. 2, it's my choice that I signed them up for this. So that just brings this calm, and it helps me to, instead of get flustered and feel busy about it, I'm appreciating it. And it doesn't feel busy anymore. It feels like something that's helping me accomplish priorities that I have. And I also limit their activities, and I make sure, like, all right, well, that one, you guys can't do these half-day summer camps at 2 different places, because if we did that, that's going to shrink my work day down, and then that priority of my work and what I want, why I need to work and what I want to work goes down the drain. So my kids, they're doing all-day summer camp, same exact place, because that's the only way that I can see getting my priorities met. And that's okay. And am I like, oh, well, this family, they've got 3 kids at 3 different camps and half day, and oh, I wish I could do that. Nope. Do you know why? Do you know why I'm not mad about that or wishing that I could do that? Because that's not my reality. So that brings me to another point of, if it doesn't serve you, if it's not your reality, stop wishing for it, stop hoping for it, stop wanting for it. Don't focus on what you can't do, what you don't have. Focus on what you do have, appreciate it. Focus on what you can do. I could sit all day and be like, oh, my neighbor, she only works part-time, so every Tuesday, Thursday, she's going to her tennis lesson and Pilates, and then she gets to go grocery shopping without the kids, and da-da-da-da-da-da. I wish I could do that. If I'm working full-time, that's not my reality. So what purpose does it serve me to sit there and wish for it? It doesn't. I'm getting rid of it. Instead, if tennis lessons are a priority for me, find a way for it to work for me. Could I go at a 5, 6 a.m. class? Could I go on my lunch break? Could I go in one evening a week? Could I do it on a weekend? Where, if that's a priority, how can you make it work for you? Who cares what Jenny next door is doing? Don't think about it. That doesn't serve you. So again, just focusing on what are your priorities, what tasks are helping you serve those priorities, and what ones aren't, and do you need to get rid of them, delegate them, what do you need to do, what support do you need to make your priorities happen? Do you need to, sometimes I hire the 12-year-old across the street to come watch my kids for a couple hours if I feel like that will help me fulfill one of my priorities, like by getting a task done, and that's worth it for me. Do I wish I had a house cleaner? Yeah, because I hate cleaning my house. And it's my choice not to, because I want to use that money for travel. That's something that was more important to me and more of a priority. And so that's a choice. And I'm not mad at people who do have a house cleaner. I'm not mad at people who have things that I don't have. I'm like, yeah, get it. I love that you have a house in Mexico. I love that you have, this, that, and another thing. Like, I think that's awesome. And I hope everybody appreciates what they have and can focus on that. So thinking of your priorities, are you making choices to help you fill those priorities? And are you learning to say no? Because guess what? It's okay to say no. You do not have to be the room mom or dad. You do not have to go on every field trip. You do not have to sign your kids up for 10 different activities. You do not have to keep up with the Joneses next door. That is not a thing. So it's okay to say no. It's okay even to say no once in a while, like whenever you want, to say no to going out, to do. It's okay to say no if it's stressing you out and it's creating these tasks that are keeping your day busy but not productive. When your day is filled with tasks that help you fill your priorities, it becomes a productive day versus a busy day. And I will tell you the difference in how they feel is night and day. I can have a week where I work 60 hours, go to, and still make my kids' sporting events and this and that. And it doesn't feel busy because I know why. I know I'm choosing to work those 60 hours. I know I'm choosing to do all those things that I'm doing. And yes, I'm doing things from 6 a.m. sometimes till 9 p.m. And I know it's a choice, and I know it's a privilege, and it feels productive, and it feels good. And I don't feel like I'm just running around and nothing's getting done. When things are getting done, the feeling is so much different than that busy work, busy day, busy eating tasks. And also, I feel like we in society, we want to wear this badge of like, I'm the busiest. And that's a badge I am not trying to have. I am zero. I'm competitive sometimes, but I am not trying to compete for that. That is so uninteresting to me. So take a step back. Look at what you have. Look at what you do have, what you can do. Focus on what are your priorities. Again, these can be fluid. What are your priorities this week? Look at your tasks that you have listed on your schedule or wherever. Are these tasks going to help you fulfill these priorities? If not, which ones are lacking? Where can you build in the time to get those priorities done? So again, priorities, they are all choices. A lot of the things that we do are privileges. Acknowledge, appreciate. And I think that is it. And by doing all of this, it gives us that power. It gives us that power to know that we have more control than we actually want to believe that we have, or that we have maybe thought before that we have, would be a better way to say it. So I think that's it. Let me take one quick look. But yes, I mean, again, don't focus on what you don't have. We can't create 6 more hours in a day. That's not a thing. So get that out of your mind. What do you have? What can you do? How can you do tasks that make you hit those priorities so that you're productive versus busy? That is it. That is all I wanted to say. I would love you to leave comments, questions. If you want to curse me out too, please don't. This is for you to reflect. I have to do this all the time. Just because I know this too, and just because I'm preaching it right now, doesn't mean I still don't get wrapped up in it at times. And sometimes I do feel like I have to do it all. And that's when I spiral out of control and I feel it. And then I scream and I cry and I go crazy. And then I stop and I reflect. I say, what are my priorities? What's not serving me? What do I need to get rid of? That Italian class, that whatever it is. What do I want to prioritize? What am I lacking that's not making me feel fulfilled and feel good right now? And how can I build that in as a priority? So, all right, this is long-winded. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can reflect, and I would love to hear some comments. Thanks.